Cooling system. As we all know, engines convert energy produced by the burning of the fuel into mechanical energy. In the case of two-wheelers, it is into turning of the wheels. But not all the energy generated by combustion is converted into mechanical energy. A big chunk gets dissipated as heat energy. As we try to run the engine on higher speeds, a higher amount of heat is generated in the engine due to friction between mechanical parts. For a smooth running of the engine as well as to maintain an optimum performance, the engine needs to be cooled down, and this is where the cooling system comes into the picture. Let's now see the types of cooling systems. The different types of cooling systems are air cooling, oil cooling, liquid cooling, air-cooled engine. As the name implies, this type of engine uses air as the cooling agent. This is the most common form of engine cooling and is available on a majority of the two-wheelers. As you can see, the engine cylinder is surrounded by fins on the outside. These fins facilitate cooling by increasing the surface area which is exposed to air for cooling. However, air-cooled engines are the least efficient of all and hence cannot be used in high-performance engines. In the air-cooled engine, the engine gets heated up quickly if it is continuously run at higher RPMs. The performance of the motorcycle decreases if the engine becomes hot, and running a very hot engine may even result in engine seizure. Oil-cooled engine. We have already seen that engine oil is circulated within the engine when it is running, and along with the engine, the oil becomes hot and starts losing its viscosity. This has a direct impact on its lubrication capability. Thus, if an engine is running on higher temperature, the oil becomes thinner, and with the reduction in lubrication, friction between engine parts increases. To avoid this and to make sure that oil maintains an optimal operating temperature, the oil is circulated between an oil cooler, also called radiator. This radiator is cooled down by flowing air, and it in turn cools down the engine oil. This cooler engine oil is again sent back to the engine. This process brings down the operating temperature of the oil and helps in maintaining its viscosity. In essence, oil cooling is just air cooling with an additional cooling mechanism. Liquid-cooled engine. This is the most popular method and is used by almost all the high-capacity machines across the world. The concept of liquid cooling in motorcycles is very similar to what it is in cars. It ensures stable performance at high-speed riding on uphills, in traffic jams, etc. A liquid cooling system uses a web of passages around the cylinder to circulate coolant through. This coolant absorbs the heat produced by the engine when running. Under high-performance conditions, like an engine running at a higher RPM, the engine gets hot quickly, and this results in the temperature of the coolant to rise. The coolant is then sent to a radiator, which dissipates the heat by running airflow or an electric fan. This cooler coolant is then circulated back around the engine. This constant circulation of the coolant keeps the engine temperature under control. The efficiency of a liquid-cooled engine is way better than its air-cooled counterpart. However, they are costlier, complex to manufacture, and relatively expensive to maintain as well. With that, we have come to the end of this session. In this session, we have learned about the three types of cooling systems. Air cooling system uses air as the cooling agent. This is the most common form of engine cooling and is available on the majority of the two-wheelers. Oil cooling system uses a radiator that is cooled by the flowing air, and it in turn cools down the engine oil. This cooler engine oil is again sent back to the engine. The liquid cooling system uses a web of passages around the cylinder to circulate coolant through. The coolant absorbs the heat produced by the engine coolant and is then sent to a radiator which dissipates the heat by running airflow or an electric fan. Hope you have enjoyed this session. Thank you.